Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some pretty big and major leaks coming out over here that apparently are now, seemingly pretty good and pretty legit when it comes to the brand new hardware from PlayStation. Now, as you guys do or do not know, we've been seeing a lot of big rumors and talks about the PlayStation 5 Pro, the Slim, but as well, one of the really more contested ones is the brand new PlayStation Handheld. Now, the PlayStation Handheld is a little bit more on the intriguing side because we don't know full on all the information on it. We know quite a bit, though, in terms of specs and all this. But one kind of big thing to note is that we're now seeing live video, apparently, and also live pictures and everything else too with it. So I'm going to go highlight this and show this to you guys all throughout today. And as well, if any of you guys are brand new, make sure you guys are subscribed, notifications on. We also have the Samsung links down below. In case you guys do want to go check out the How links for the $50 off. We have the Twitter and Twitch link down below too as well. Be hanging out and chill up on Twitch. And of course, check out the Amazon links. And let's dive into the video itself. So as we mentioned, the Sony Project Q, which is essentially the handheld, has now been making its way around the internet. So very first and foremost, we're now physically seeing stuff. We have some videos we'll show you guys in a second over here from Zuby, where the Sony Project Q handheld is running apparently Android in number one, a leaked video, but also part two, apparently it's already working. So the new video may answer at least one of the many burning questions about the Sony's confusing answer about the Switch and Steam Deck, but as well just other various information with it. So at least one of our questions about the Sony Project Q handheld has been seemingly been answered by the new leaked video, which let me go and show you guys this first really quick over here, where it's just intriguing to go and see nonetheless. You guys could kind of see it. You see the little plastic, you see the attachments and all that. Let me just go and give you guys a little highlight over here. So I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to do a little bit more talk over in a second, but my first impression, it feels a little weird. It looks a little weird to me, but we'll talk in a second. It's nifty. All right, so let me go to my little thoughts and breakdown in this. First and foremost, this definitely gives me way more, it almost looks like the Switch with the literal PlayStation 5 DualSense controllers just basically cut in half. I'm not really sure if I like the design or if I dislike the design. I can kind of go either way. I'm kind of like a 50-50 on it, so obviously give me your thoughts and comments down below. But it does kind of feel like it'd be a little bit wide as based on looking at the actual screen itself. So I feel like my hands would maybe never be fully comfortable, I guess, doing this wide spread. But as well, I kind of like the idea of it seemingly being a touchscreen monitor. At the same time, though, I feel like the divisions seem kind of weird. One thing I kind of noted, and if you guys look at this maybe it might be separate things, might be a fake leak, might be whatever, although it does seem pretty legitimate, is I don't really necessarily know if I like this. Because I feel like if you're moving or you're trying to be in a car or you have your kids playing with it or whatever, I feel like this has a pretty okay-ish chance to maybe ever get caught up on, let's say, a table or your arm, or say you're in a bag and you have to, say you want to grab something out of your backpack. So you grab it off of one controller, and then you kind of dragging up other stuff with it. I'm a little bit kind of concerned on this. Maybe I'm just overly critical or overly just guessing, assuming, I'm not sure. But it does seem a little bit on the skeptical side. I'm a little bit worried on what I'm seeing with this one. Although I do kind of like the idea of maybe the controller, but as you guys can even see by going through the actual touchscreen itself, it feels weird. The person's not even physically on the controller. They have to literally move their hand into it, and that's only covering up half the screen. So if this is the legitimate ending size, it does almost seem slightly too big. But I'm not really sure if that's a bad thing because you're also playing games on it. But at the same time, too, the Switch also has it. I'm very conflicted on my first impression, so I kind of want to hear your thoughts on it yourselves. But it looks cool. Let me know as well for the Android styles. You actually might have to go put in other stuff with it. Once again, we're not sure exactly how legitimate, etc. it is, but it does seem like it's all fully one attached on the side. I don't think I necessarily hate the handhelds. Maybe you could even maybe go and remove it possibly from the screen. It almost kind of looks like that. I'm not really sure because we haven't had a physical hands-on with it yet. But it does kind of seem what if you could slide it out from the handhelds? You can see from this picture, they also have the actual Joy-Cons too removed. So I'm not sure if that also plays in part with this or not as well. So it is kind of throwing me off a little smidgen on what I'm looking for, how I'm looking for it, and all that type of stuff. But it does work. And granted too, with the touchscreen, you can also just use the controllers and the analog sticks themselves. So I'd almost want to try it out. This seems like one of those things I'm not sure if I'm a day one buy on myself. I'll be honest with you guys, but at the same time, the hands-on does seem pretty cool. I like the triggers. It really just kind of feels like a proper PlayStation controller. I'm not really sure the best way to kind of just kind of even think about it. I really couldn't tell you. I generally couldn't. But it looks cool. It looks cool. So give me your thoughts and comments on this as well. There's also apparently some other little various things too tied on in. If you guys look at, say, pictures, you guys look at all the other stuff. And also here's apparently the back end too as well. in case you guys are curious, in case people are creeping around with that. So very intriguing. Like, basically, the person making the video quickly taps through the menus. You can saw through this one, and starts rolling the handheld over to show the top, back, and bottom of it. The low resolution makes it hard to kind of tell much, so in theory, like, this could still be, like, maybe even a prototype version or whatever, although it might be coming out sooner than later, so it might just be an actual legitimate version of it, too, as well. So, yeah, there's a big stuff. There's, like, a 4 set of buttons behind the tablet portion of the device. On top of that, there's centered holes in the top and bottom edge of the tablet for maybe microphones, which would make sense. We have had built-in microphones on the controller, but as well, also a lot of people do stuff with, say, Call of Duty, where they have had their controllers on, you know, stuff like that. It's intriguing. It's intriguing. Once again, I'm not 100% sure how much I like it. This is also the removed back of the picture of the tablet too, as well, with the frame of it for the guts. So I'm intrigued on it. Well, Sony says it'll be an 8-inch tablet framed by DualSense controllers. So that does kind of fit, like, it kind of seems like the vibe is there. Like, it makes sense, but it does just seem big. Like, it seems very intriguing, kind of. I'm not sure if it feels comfortable. Once again, the random little space over there throws me off, and I'd almost kind of wish it was the same way as a Switch, where it's all just collectively put together on the side of controllers and consoles, so I'm just intrigued on that. Like, I'm actually generally kind of properly intrigued. So I kind of want your thoughts on that one. And they also will go and say, too, as well, it'll exist more as apparently as the accessory, too. So don't forget, this is more of like an extension. I'm actually not sure, because I think a lot of folks keep on saying you need to have it specifically for your PlayStation 5. But I would be kind of curious, too, if you had like a PS4 and you just had those games specifically for that. Or as well, if you'd be able to go and scheme it like through the PlayStation app. Once again, though, it's probably just more of a pure PlayStation function, like basically going and streaming from the cloud from PlayStation. But I would be able to kind of curious on too as well. So they've also been, they're also kind of curious too on the price point. We still don't have the full-on price point, but a lot of folks are still assuming it'll be under the $300 price point too. So there's a lot of intriguing things with it that we'll get a lot more information on it. But as of right now, we're not fully 100% committed, and we don't know exactly what's going on. Don't forget, they do want to use a 1080p LCD display running at 60 FPS. And although, like, I kind of feel like I'd rather have slightly higher, because a lot of games are consistent at 4K. 30 FPS, but of course with a handheld, it might be harder to go do that with a streaming device. But once again, with the active streaming device too, let's say you have to be at home or have it be like connected to your PS5, I still would probably rather just go play on my TV or my monitors as I do that instead. Like, in my honest opinion, I think I kind of like that vibe better. Although maybe you have like a secondary console, or maybe you have like a really comfy couch. Maybe you just want to have like other people have a chance to play with it. Maybe you want to play in your bed. Like, there is people out there that do like that. But I have also mentioned before, at least for my Switch, as I'm losing my voice over here, is that at least for my Switch, I never really had a chance to play it too much like outside of my dock. I'm usually more someone who just plays it like watching my TV, and like I'm playing it in like my couch. But I don't know. Maybe some of you guys are more of like, yeah, I'll play it on my couch or on my TV. In my bed when it comes to this stuff, so I'm kind of curious in that one. But yeah, it does use the Wi-Fi connect to the PS5, so I'm pretty sure you do need to have it. We're not sure if maybe like a PS4 might be able to go and scheme it later on. Probably not. And of course, running through Android too as well, it actually might have a chance to go have other different types of things, potentially like emulation and other various things tied on in. So very intriguing. I want to hear your thoughts and comments on all the stuff down below. As well, we also did have a brand new PlayStation 5 firmware update. Now, there wasn't anything kind of really big or major with it, but in case you guys did go to your PC, I had a few people ask about this update. So there's a PlayStation 5 update, and they had the system version 23.01.07.60 to give its full name, and it does what we all kind of expect and want, and basically the patch notes were just doing a nice little system software update, which improves the system performance. Now, as you guys have probably seen, there is always a chance that, you know, in all honesty, there always could have been a chance they did a brand new small update if they have more folks coming out here with the brand new Project Q and maybe even testing stuff on out. But typically this stuff is like you find a random bug fix, you want to go click the extra buttons, you want to go make sure there's a spelling mistake, maybe there's like a random, like, you know, there's so many random things that could potentially happen with it, so you have to be worried on that too as well. But yeah, there's just a random little small minor update too on top of that one. There is no DualSense update too as well, so it's just your console, so if you guys did see this the past few days too. But once again, this was kind of not really touched on too much because nothing really happened with it, and we're still kind of waiting for this awkward limbo for the next upcoming big betas, both for the PlayStation and Xbox. Nothing really big is on go on either side. But either way, very intriguing to go and see the Project Q. I do think there is potential here. I do like seeing it. It's very nifty, but at the same time, I'm still not fully convinced if I'm going to want to spend all the money on it. So that's kind of the big topic for this video. Are you guys wanting to go and spend the money on this? Will you guys spend the money on it? I think it was a little bit conflicting when we saw a lot of folks not wanting to buy, like, say, the PSVR 2 or the PlayStation DualSense Pro controller. Either or, but I'm kind of curious on your thoughts. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. Check on the Samsung link down below for your $50 off. No obligation needed. You just have to click on the link and sign up with your email. You can also cancel anytime. No big deals there. We have the Twitter and Twitch if you guys are bored. We also have the Amazon links too. And I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. We'll have a lot more videos all tomorrow.